Welcome to Stoic Logic, where we uncover the timeless wisdom of Stoic philosophy and its power to transform our lives. Today, we dive deep into one of the most fundamental aspects of the Stoic worldview, the art of enduring life's trials, particularly in the context of marriage. At its core, Stoicism teaches us that while we cannot control the external events of our lives, we always have control over how we respond to them. Marriage, like all relationships, is full of challenges. From disagreements and financial struggles to betrayal and emotional wounds, the difficulties can feel overwhelming at times. But what if we told you that the Stoic approach to these challenges doesn't just allow us to survive these hardships, it shows us how we can thrive through them. A Stoic marriage is not about avoiding hardship or pretending that conflict doesn't exist. Rather, it's about how we approach the inevitable tests that every partnership faces. As Marcus Aurelius once said, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. In other words, the difficulties we face, be they in marriage, work, or personal life, are not obstacles to be feared, but opportunities to build resilience, to grow in virtue, and to deepen our bonds with one another. Throughout this journey, we will explore how a Stoic perspective can help a marriage endure the most One, love is a discipline, not an emotion. The fleeting passions of the heart are not the foundation of a lasting union. Seneca reminds us, most powerful is he who has himself in his own power. Love, like virtue, is a discipline, something we train daily through patience, through control, through the taming of our lower instincts. We do not abandon our duty because the winds of feeling shift. We persist because we have vowed to. Consider the story of Marcus and Livia, a couple, married for 3 decades. When they first wed, love came easily. Passions burned bright, words of admiration flowed effortlessly. But as years passed, the novelty faded. Disagreements arose over children, finances, and priorities. Livia often felt Marcus was distant, absorbed in his own world. Marcus, in turn, felt unappreciated. It would have been easy to drift apart, to let resentment take root. But instead, they embraced the Stoic ideal. They saw their marriage not as a vessel for pleasure, but as a discipline in virtue. They trained themselves to listen with patience, to respond with measured words, to rekindle admiration through action, rather than mere sentiment. Their love did not remain because it was always easy, but because they shaped it with discipline, much like a sculptor chiseling away at rough marble to reveal something enduring beneath. 2. Marriage is the ultimate arena for self-mastery. Epictetus spoke of life as a training ground. Difficulties are what show men's character. A marriage will test us, provoke us, and press upon our weaknesses. But we are not to flee from hardship, we are to face it and grow. To abandon a marriage in the face of struggle is to abandon the great battleground where we forge patience, wisdom, and resilience. It is here, in the fires of conflict, that we temper our souls. Take the example of Cato the Younger, the Roman senator and Stoic philosopher. His wife, Marcia, was known for her strong will and independent spirit. Their marriage was not without conflict. Cato, ever the embodiment of principle, often found himself at odds with her. Yet instead of lashing out or retreating, he used these moments as tests of his endurance and wisdom. He would remind himself that his emotions were his own to master, not something dictated by another's words or actions. When Marcia grew frustrated, Cato remained still, listening intently, responding with care. This is the essence of Stoic marriage, understanding that one's role is not to change the other, but to refine oneself in the face of challenge. Three, enduring hardship is strength, escaping is weakness. When a storm rises, do we curse the heavens or do we brace ourselves and press forward? The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way, Marcus Aurelius wrote. If we leave at the first sign of suffering, we remain weak. If we endure, we grow. A difficult marriage is not a burden, but an opportunity, a chance to rise above pain, to become greater than we were. Theodorus, a blacksmith from ancient Athens, understood this well. He and his wife Callista faced years of poverty and loss. Their firstborn son died young, and Callista, devastated, withdrew into herself. Theodorus could have allowed grief to break him, could have resented his wife's distance, but he did not. He saw suffering as his teacher. He continued to forge metal by day and care for Callista by night, speaking gently, offering patience rather than demands. Over time she healed, and their marriage, tempered by hardship, emerged stronger. Theodorus did not escape difficulty. He embraced it as the path to growth, and in doing so, he proved his strength. Four, we control ourselves, not others. To seek to control another is folly. To master oneself is wisdom. A spouse may wound us, anger us, fail us, but our response is ours alone. As Epictetus taught, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Marriage is not about fixing the other, it is about refining the self. Every trial, every argument, every moment of disappointment is a lesson in self-control. Lucius, a merchant from Corinth, struggled with his wife's temper. She was quick to anger, often accusing him of neglecting her in favor of his work. At first, Lucius fought back, raising his voice, escalating every argument. But then, remembering the words of Epictetus, he changed his approach. Instead of trying to control her emotions, he controlled his own. He did not react with anger. He met her sharp words with stillness. In time, her anger lost its power. It could not control him, and in turn, it began to fade. Their marriage transformed, not because she changed, but because he mastered himself. Five, we chose this path and we must walk it. The Stoics rejected the notion of fate as an excuse to abandon duty. We have made a choice, and choice binds us. Seneca wrote, "A good character, when established, is not easily overthrown. We are not reeds bending with the wind. We are stone, resolute in our commitments. The road may be long and wearying, but we do not abandon it for the illusion of an easier path." The tale of Perseus and Helena illustrates this truth. When they married, they vowed to remain together in all things. But when famine struck their village, Perseus struggled to provide. Helena grew weary, tempted by the ease of leaving for her brother's wealthier home. But she stayed. She saw their marriage as a path, chosen and sacred. They endured the famine, and when prosperity returned, their bond was unshakable. They had walked their path, and they were stronger for it. Six, endurance is a mark of strength. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, once said, "The impediment to action advances action." What stands in the way becomes the way. In marriage, obstacles are not the enemy. They are the means through which we grow. Every challenge you face in your relationship is an opportunity to build fortitude. The Stoic does not shy away from difficulty, but rather seeks to meet it head-on with resolve. When the storm clouds gather in your marriage, be it through miscommunication, betrayal, or simple fatigue, know that it is not the end, but the beginning of something deeper. The person who fights for their marriage, who endures despite the hardships, is the one who strengthens their spirit with every passing moment. However, Stoicism also teaches that endurance does not mean silent suffering or simply gritting your teeth through hardship. It is about being proactive and taking deliberate action to address the situation with wisdom. What stands in the way becomes the way is not just a call to endure pain passively, but to transform it into an opportunity for growth. If you want to save your marriage, you must first face the reality that some things are beyond your immediate control. But many things can still be transformed through thoughtful effort and wisdom. One powerful tool in saving a 7. Be a role model for others. In the grand tapestry of life, we are all interconnected. Our actions, thoughts, and behaviors ripple outward, affecting not only our partner but the community around us. As Marcus Aurelius reminds us, what we do now echoes in eternity, and in marriage, this truth rings louder than ever. The way you treat your partner, the way you choose to respond to conflict, the way you sacrifice for the good of the union, these are the actions that shape the legacy you leave. To fight for your marriage is not just a personal endeavor. It is an opportunity to set an example for others. You become a living testament to what it means to live with integrity, to show resilience, and to fight for love. In a world where relationships often crumble at the first sign of difficulty, the Stoic approach to marriage stands as a beacon of strength and hope. By persevering through trials, by choosing to be virtuous, and by living in accordance with the principles of Stoicism, you offer others a model, a blueprint for how to navigate the complexities of love, commitment, and unity. One of the most powerful ways your marriage serves as a role model is to your children. They are watching, learning not just from what you say, but from what you do. The way you treat your spouse, the way you handle the Stoic principle of living in accordance with nature can be seen in how we raise and influence the next generation. The natural world operates through cycles, growth, decay, and renewal. So too does the growth of a marriage. By fighting for your marriage, you teach your children the importance of nurturing relationships, of staying true to commitments, and of persevering through trials. They come to understand that marriage is not a fairy tale, but a journey that requires discipline, patience, and a shared commitment to growth. So when you fight for your marriage, remember that your efforts are not in vain. They have the power to shape the future, not just in your own life, but in the lives of those who will follow you. You are setting an example that will resonate for generations to come. Your children will learn from your example, and they will go on to shape the world around them with the lessons they have absorbed. We are not merely fighting for our own happiness or fulfillment in marriage. We are fighting to ensure that the values we hold As we reflect on the Stoic path toward enduring marriage, let us remember that Stoicism is not about denying our emotions or suppressing our human experience. It's about responding to our emotions with clarity and wisdom, recognizing that while we cannot always control external events, we have absolute control over how we choose to react. This is the essence of the Stoic marriage, the deliberate choice to respond to life's difficulties with resilience, patience, and love. In every marriage, obstacles are inevitable. Whether it's a disagreement that escalates into a heated argument, a financial crisis that leaves both partners feeling drained, or even a betrayal that threatens to shatter trust. These challenges are part of the human experience. Yet what the Stoic teaches us is that it's not the challenges themselves that determine the outcome of our marriage, but the way we choose to face them. In the heat of the moment, it may be easy to succumb to anger, frustration, or despair, but the Stoic reminds us that true strength lies in our ability to master our emotions, to respond thoughtfully, and to act in a way that aligns with our deepest values. By practicing the Stoic principles of self-mastery, forgiveness, and humility, we create a space in which our marriage can endure, evolve, and flourish. We learn that the power of communication, the importance of shared purpose, and the strength of compromise are the foundations upon which enduring relationships are built. These principles don't just help us survive the hardships we face in marriage. They enable us to grow through them, deepening our connection and strengthening our resolve. The challenges of marriage, money problems, infidelity, abuse, are not marks of failure. They are opportunities for growth. They test our patience, our character, and our commitment. And in facing these tests, we can choose to either let them break us or to use them as a catalyst for transformation. By embodying the Stoic ideals of resilience, emotional control, and wisdom, we empower ourselves to respond to these challenges with strength and virtue, leading to a marriage that is not only enduring, but also enriched by the trials it has faced. We close today's exploration of Stoic wisdom and marriage. Let us remember that the Stoic approach is not about avoiding discomfort or pretending that life will be without hardship. It's about cultivating the fortitude to endure life's difficulties with grace, wisdom, and love. The marriage that survives the trials of life is not one that is free from conflict, but one in which both partners continually choose to grow together, learning from their experiences and supporting one another through life's ups and downs. In the end, the Stoic marriage is a marriage that becomes stronger with time. It is a marriage that is built not just on fleeting emotions, but on deep, unshakable principles that guide both partners toward a shared vision of love, respect, and mutual growth. By applying Stoic wisdom to our relationships, we give ourselves the tools to endure life's trials, deepen our connection with our partner, and build a legacy of resilience and virtue that can be passed on to the generations that follow. Remember, as we continue on this Stoic journey, that the way forward is always one of growth, strength, and fortitude. The challenges we face in marriage are not the end of the road. They are simply the beginning of a deeper, more meaningful partnership. And with each challenge we face, we emerge not just as individuals, but as a united force, stronger and more capable than we ever thought possible. We endure because we choose to. We grow because we strive to. And together, we become the best versions of ourselves, one step at a time. Thank you for joining us today on Stoic Logic. If this message resonates with you, please like, share, and subscribe. Together, we can continue to explore the transformative power of Stoic philosophy, applying it to our lives and rising above the challenges that come our way. Until next time, stay grounded, stay wise, and live with the strength of a Stoic.